So CD Projekt Red is teasing that they have a new Witcher series, I guess, coming out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All they did was put out an image, and it said The Witcher. It's a I don't medallion, I think is what he wears, that has like the wolf icon.
Yes.
So they put out it's a medallion in the snow, and it just says The Witcher, a new saga begins. And of course, everybody's speculating, and I don't know that they've actually followed up and given any real details, but a few of the people, the developers from CD Projekt, they kind of said like, hey, look, all we're saying is a new saga. The little icon or medallion on this one. So the other one, as we mentioned before, was a wolf. This one looks to be, it's kind of covered partially by snow, looks to be like a cat. So a lot of people think that that's pointing to possibly the main person that potentially playable in the game will be Ciri. But yeah, the fact that they just say it's a new saga, and obviously the medallion is a bit different. That it's not going to be Geralt, or maybe he'll show up somewhere, but it's obviously they're kind of moving in a different direction. It'll just be something in that universe. And the fact that they use the term saga makes me think it's going to be multi-part. I don't think it can be a saga without being multi-part.
Sure.
Yeah, I know, right?
So yeah, I mean, I think that this has made a lot of people happy, and obviously a lot of speculation going, and there's going to be tons of speculation going forward until we finally start to get any kind of real details about whether it is involving Ciri or somebody else from one of these other schools and everything. So I don't know, you guys that are into The Witcher, y'all super excited about this?
I can't even say I'm super into The Witcher. Tim can.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this. And I think this is something CD Projekt Red needs after the Cyberpunk debacle. Like, they need to go back to their roots. This needs to be knocked out of the park. I hope that they do it right and they do it justice. I'm kind of leaning on what a lot of other people are saying too, that this could be Ciri. It could just be a whole new character. There's different Witchers everywhere. So it just could be somebody different, but I love that realm and everything about it. So I'm in. Let's go.
The thing that got me the most excited, and it kind of coming from the Cyberpunk 2077 debacle, is that they're going to be using Unreal Engine 5,
right?
Which I think is really, really dope. They've been using their own engine before this, the Red engine.
Worked out great.
Right. So you're like, okay, well, now I think they have a new partnership actually with Epic. And so, I think it's going to be really dope that they're not going to be using their own. It didn't go great last time. It didn't go great. And now they're going to be stepping into a language that a lot of people know.
Yeah.
And so instead of using their, and I understand, I think Amazon.
Bless you.
Bless you. One more? You got it.
Bless you.
There it is.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
I think that Amazon tried to use their own engine as well. I think it was called Lumberyard, which was, I feel like a rebrand of maybe something that existed already. But I think that when you do that, I get that you're like, hey, we're using our own stuff and nobody else could do it. And that's what maybe the cool thing about it is. But man, I'm like, come on, man, we all in this together. Like you can make it better. I think when you use something that everybody speaks the language of, it could be like, have you ever tried this? This can get the memory down here so you can get the frame rates up. I feel like a cooperative mass language engine to me is better, especially considering what happened at the end of their
right.
With the launch of their last game. It does get me a little bummed because if it's CD Projekt Red, as we know CD Projekt Red, does this mean like 6 years from now?
Yeah.
Or does this mean like
it's gonna be a while, right?
3 years from, you know what I'm saying? And so like part of me doesn't even like hearing these announcements this early.
Yeah.
When it's like, we've got a picture and we're switching engines and it's coming. And you're like, man, like that's a long time from now. Just
That's
like the
a long
Final
time.
Fantasy remake. It was like 5 years or something like that, 7 years, something crazy before we actually got the game. And so you're just like Googling it every 3 months. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're like, oh, no new news. Okay, well, so anyway.
Yeah.
But I am excited. I think that the Witcher series is something that gaming can point to as almost one of our like flagpole games almost, where you're like, look at that and how amazing that is. Grand Theft Auto being another one. Man, look at that. Look how much money that makes. Something that we can point to. So I'm excited to see if they can pull off their same super high quality thing. I mean, Unreal Engine 5 looks insane.
Gorgeous.
So, the few things we've seen out of it. And so that's where I'm more excited is about Unreal Engine 5.
Right.
And I can't wait to play Gwent again.
Hey, there you go.
It's going to look fantastic.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh,
those cards,
I can
man.
almost feel those cards. Oh,
That's
I can almost
right.
feel them. They got a velvety texture. Yeah, Chris, are you? I mean, I know you weren't a big Witcher guy, but like just seeing CD Projekt Red getting it cranked back up, are you like, yay? Or are you like, nah, it's whatever?
I mean, I think it's clearly a beloved series, and they're heavily involved with it because I know that it originally started as a book series and everything like that. I'm all for it. Like you said, I hadn't played the Witcher game. If 1 and 2 had released weren't old, just PC only games. Of course, I know Witcher 2, I think eventually came to Xbox 360 as well. If I had I feel like that's a series that had I been able to, I would have gotten into it back in the day, and I'd probably be more heavily involved.
Yeah.
But when 3 came out, even though I thought it looked great, and I remember seeing the trailers and stuff for it at the E3 that it was announced at, which I don't even remember which one it was, but thinking, oh man, I'm gonna jump into that. And then when it hit, and I saw 1, how big it was, and 2, how I didn't know anything about any of the story prior, and I was just like, it just seemed like a little much for me to jump into at the time. It was one of those things I was like, I'll get into this later on down the road, and I never did. But it's always been one of those ones I've admired from afar. I've been like, I get it. I get why people love this, and I get the prestige, and I understand all that. So the fact that they're going to continue in that universe, I mean, I think is a great thing. Well, and actually, this might be, depending on if it's 6 years down the road, where I'm going to be then, but maybe this would be the one, especially if it is like a brand new start. Maybe I can start fresh on it and be like, okay, I have access to this one, so I can start from the ground up, kind of thing. So
yeah. Edward, what about you?
Yeah, I'm hoping for the same thing as Chris. I think had I gotten into The Witcher when it was new, I probably would have really gotten into it. And it's hard for me to go back to it, not having played it to the older version of it. But I would like to. I'm interested. I'm going to keep my eye on it, and I will probably. I want to get in on the thing. I want to like it, like I want to be in The Witcher. Yeah.
That's me with Elden Ring. I'm like, I will like this game. I will give it a college try. I will not quit the first time I get frustrated.
Right.
And I'm loving it.
Good.
So I'm with you, Ed. Is that it, Christopher? Is that all you got?
The one other quick little announcement thing I was going to do is they did announce a new Ghostbusters game. By Iliophonic. It's the same people who made Friday the 13th the game and Predator Hunting Grounds. If you know anything about those two games, it's kind of similar in that, this one is this 4v1. So you're either one of the Ghostbusters or you could be the ghost. And I just don't know. I don't know what I think about this. I mean, when you watch the trailer, I think it seems interesting. It seems like something that could be a lot of fun. But in my opinion, it just seems like a lot of these 4v1 games just don't really pan out, and kind of people lose interest, and it just doesn't really work out. I mean, Friday the 13th, I think, did pretty decent. Predator, I don't think did well. Evolve didn't do well. Somebody had brought up on Discord Dead by Daylight, which I think is fair to say that it has a pretty good following. So that one did well for itself. But I don't know. It's one of those things where even though it looks kind of interesting, I'm just like, it makes me nervous because I just feel like nobody's quite figured this out. I honestly wish that it was just 4-player co-op. I wish it was all just AI ghosts or whatever. Like the fact that they added in and somebody else can be the ghost, like that kind of diminishes it a bit for me, even though overall it looks super interesting.
Yeah.
But, I was really hoping for, was it called Evolve?
Yes.
It was that. I was really hoping for Evolve because I thought that would be cool. Like the whole
great concept too.
Somebody's the monster, everybody else is the tracker, and man, oh man. The only place I like it is Overwatch with May and Winston.
Oh, the
snowball
the
fight.
Yeti one?
The Yeti one. Yeah, the Yeti one.
The Yeti one.
And so but this, because it's like just this fun little thing to do. But man, like I've tried the Dead by Daylight one, right? That's like the real scary one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We like getting hung up on hooks and stuff like that. And I've watched, I think it was Lim that was playing that a bunch, and it just never like I never want to do it for some strange reason.
I want to get I wish Dead by Daylight would, no pun intended, hook me. Like, I watch so much gameplay of that. I love watching people play it, and for some reason, I just can't grasp it as a player. But I want to play it. Like, I wish I like it. Yeah, I wish I was a Dead by Daylight player, and I don't know why it won't click with me. And I think part of it is that I'm really late to the game. Everybody knows what they're doing, and I do, and I just feel like I'm, you know, especially when it's any kind of person versus person, I'm like, I am really outranked. I do not know what I'm doing. Like, I would have to just be handheld the entire way. And
you know what it is for me too? I felt like Evolve especially, and because it's such a passing thing on Overwatch, I think that's why I like it. But like when I'm playing with buddies and then one person is the monster all of a sudden, then we feel like we can't talk. Because you can't really strategize, right? Because they're listening,
right?
So it's like when you play, like it's one of the things that Among Us does right, and is that you can't talk, right? It's like it's almost like everybody's just on their own.
Yeah,
and I know people get in Discord and do the talking there and stuff like that, and open it up after. But I feel like if it was like the four of us could all play together all the time and know that we were the hunters, and then somebody else always queued for the monster, that would be funner to me.
Which is how it works in the Yeti thing that you're talking about on Overwatch. You can't talk to that.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't talk to the Yeti. Right. And so that part just always irked me too. I was like,
If it was a Ghostbusters version of Phasmophobia, I would be down. Like where
Phasmophobia.
That's the one where you're ghost hunting. When you get further away from each other, your comms go out. When you know, and then
wow,
it's I would, and then if the ghost gets you, your comms go out completely. People can't hear you. And you're like, Gabe.
Oh my!
Did it get in?
Gosh,
that's awesome.
And I wish it was something like that.
It is kind of cool because they did get Ray Stantz and Dan Aykroyd to voice parts in this game, so that's kind of neat. And again, visually it looks cool, and I like the idea of like using the blaster and throwing out the trap and catching the ghost and all that. The 4v1 aspect, I'm just like, I'm with you. I'll wait and see, and especially if they come out with a demo, I would give it a shot. I had a good time playing the demo or the beta or whatever it was called back in the day for Evolve, but I could tell, I was like, it's going to be this evening. And I'm not touching this again.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was the same thing with Predator Hunting Grounds. Did the same thing. Played the beta or whatever it was, and it was like, kind of cool for 10 minutes, and then I'm out. I'm not doing this again.
Did they just get Dan Aykroyd? Because he played Ray Stantz.
Sorry. Dan Aykroyd and the other gentleman. No, not Bill Murray. The other guy. What's his name? It wasn't this article.
We're running out of people. Other people are dead.
I forget the actor's real name.
Ernie Hudson?
Yes, Ernie Hudson.
Okay.
Yes, he plays Ernie plays the person who's recruiting because you're playing if you're a Ghostbuster, you're like new recruits in a sense.
Oh, nice.
And then Dan Aykroyd is playing the person who somehow or another ties you into if you're going to do the ghost role. So you talk to one of those two based on what you're doing, as I understand. From the trailer, that's kind of how it's set up. Yeah.
Interesting.